Hello! In this video, I'm going to explain you how to create content BIM 3D models with the use of AI. Let's go ahead. My name is Diego Gonzalez Pascual. I'm a technical specialist at Autodesk, and I'm going to showcase you what is the workflow that I'm proposing here. Giving context to your construction project has this workflow here. First of all, I recommend you to create your own BIM model, then bring the GIS environment to your project as a BIM model and use it as context. And then you will be proceeding to the creation of the 3D BIM models with AI. This is important so that you can provide special context and reference to your projects. And obviously, you can federate everything by aggregating all these models with Autodesk Construction Cloud Forma model coordination. It's important to mention that there will be a difference between the level of detail of the context and the actual project. You have to take in mind that the BIM model will be highly detailed because that is the actual project that you're building. But instead, the context will be in a low detail approach. What I mean with this, if you're taking as a base the GIS map, what you will be getting is a BIM model that is not so detailed as your project. And also with this AI 3D models that we're creating, take into consideration that AI is not perfect. It is just creating, imagining something from scratch, from nothing. So whatever you get will not be especially detailed or even accurate. But it's important for you to use it as a context. Why context? This is important. Construction will gain value when it engages its context. What I mean with this? Clarifying the context structure is enriching not only the visual experience, but also what you can get from the model. This way, people involved with the project, with the model, will be orienting themselves and getting more meaningful connection with the location. For that, I will be explaining to you some ideas from different urban theorists that have been taken into consideration for this. Let's start with bringing GIS as BIM models as context. In this case, Kevin Lynch wrote a book that was called The Image of the City in 1960, where he was explaining that the project or your building or whatever you have in the urban environment can be explained with different elements, such as paths, nodes, landmark, edges, or districts. The key idea here is that there are relationships between the different elements of the project or the city, and these are also adding more important information to your knowledge or understanding of the environment. So this is one of the key ideas. Bringing GIS maps to the BIM models as context will be giving to you a lot of information so that you understand what is exactly what you have in the surrounding your project. How can you do this? Well, in the previous video, I already showcased that you can do this with Forma Site Design. You can bring your GIS map and from it create the environment, the roads, also the buildings that way. And then obviously you also can then export it to ISC and federate it onto model coordination as well. So that way you will be having together your BIM model and also the surrounding. It's pretty simple actually. Let's go ahead. Now let's go to the actual point of the video. Generating 3D BIM models with AI. So what is the purpose of this? This is intended not only to have also the context with a map, but also to have a specific model that could be referenced to give more, let's say, idea or contextual understanding of the place with that kind of special models. So this is the idea. And this comes from the Gordon Cullen book, The Concept Tomscape, that was also written in the 60s, in the 61 actually, where Gordon Cullen was explaining that you could do some kind of walk or even understanding of the area where you place through the serial vision. What I mean with this? The point is that there are some specific key elements in the let's say in the townscape or in the street or in the surrounding you have that are giving more understanding of where are you in this particular area, or what is the, let's say, the idea or the character of the area where you are located. So with this, if you can see here, there are some drawings where Gordon Cullen was explaining that, let's say, in different cities, maybe cathedral or maybe some particular tower or element, it is helping you to understand where you are and what is the different approach to the project actually. So having that in mind, I consider that yes, you can do this by bringing some specific 3D model that you can create with AI. In this case, I'm focusing on using ComfyUIs or other different Web 3D AI generators so that you can get an OBJ or FBX, two different 3D models that you can also generate or federate on model coordination. So let me explain you what is the process. So first of all, you can create a 2D axonometric view with any LLM that you want, such as ChatGPT or Gemini, for instance. What I've done here is with this prompt that I'm also putting here in the screen, I'm requesting to create this axonometric view with a white background. In this case, this is the cathedral of this town of Segovia, the town where I was born actually, using the Wikipedia photographs. And then with that axonometric view, you can go to a 3D model generator, such as Meshy or Mesmint or Triple, if you go to the website, or maybe ComfyUI if you want to download it or use it locally. This is actually what I've done in this example. So taking that picture from ChatGPT, I use this workflow for ComfyUI to create the 3D model, as you can see here. It is amazing how from that 3D, from that 2D axonometric view, you can create this kind of 3D model. Obviously, it's not perfect, but for a reference in your context, it's more than enough. I've done this with a cathedral, but you could also do this for any kind of elements that you have in your context, such as a bridge. This is a bridge that is also in Spain, in Madrid actually, and as you can see, it works pretty fine. So then you can federate everything on model coordination, and not only bringing your particular surrounding with IFC, for instance, from Forma Design or any kind of BIM, also bringing any kind of model from Navisworks, InfraWorks, or Recap Pro, and obviously your design in DWG or Revit, for instance, but also bringing your 3D AI models with FBX or LBJ. Putting all together onto model coordination, you will have a particular project that will be always interesting to understand. Okay, in this video, I'm showing to you how you get into model coordination. You can federate the model you have created, and then you can see everything in context. You can see how in this project I created 13 years ago when I was in the my degree of architecture. You can see that this project is not the same if I put it together with surrounding from IFC, from GIS, or also with the particular AI model I've created, which is the Cathedral of Segovia. It's actually giving correctly the spirit of the surrounding where it is located. Well, here you can see also a picture of the difference between a real photo in the left side and also the model coordination federation. As you can see, obviously we can never reach the level of detail of reality, but the truth is that you can get more context that is adding more value to the project, to the understanding of your construction element. So, well, that's everything for today. Thank you very much.